Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can get better answers from Google Gemini, and it's super simple. All we're going to be doing is inputting a specific prompt, and then hopefully Google Gemini will be less agreeable and give us answers we actually want to get. That way we can get answers that are valuable and insightful, and not just always being agreeable with us, giving us answers that, it thinks we want to hear. We want to get answers that are actually productive and can help us get, in the right direction of whatever it is that we're doing. So to show you guys an example, we're going to use the standard all-around help mode, and I'm going to ask it a question like this. So for instance, I'm saying, I'm planning to quit my job and spend my entire $10,000 savings launching a brand new AI app, even though I have no coding experience, no audience, and haven't validated the idea. I think it can make 1 million within a year. Do you agree with this is a smart move? Let's see what it says. Now, it might be a little softer on this, so at least it gives us short answer, no. This plan carries an extremely high probability of losing your job and security, your entire savings and whatever. So it does give us an actual answer, and then it gives us a build first approach and what we can do, and it's kind of just being nice about it in a sense, but this is a decent answer overall. But what I'm going to do is ask this exact same question, but in a separate chat. So in this new chat, I'm actually going to use the prompt that I'm discussing, and you guys can get this prompt from the description of the video or the pinned comment. And once you put it in, all you do is paste, hit enter, and it'll basically start changing the way that it operates. It's going to be less of a yes man and less agreeable generally. So now, understood, the terms are clear. Zero spin, zero validation, and pure tactical reality. So now, after doing this, we'll ask it the exact same question that we did with the other one and see if it's a bit harsher on us. Ideally, it will be. The other one was not bad, though. Then it tells us, this is not a business strategy, it is a blueprint for insolvency. The short answer, no. You are not starting a company, you are buying 4 to 6 months of unemployment, after which you will be broke, possess a buggy piece of software nobody wants, and have no job to return to. See how it's pretty harsh on us? The other one told us no, but it then breaks down what we can do. This really goes harsh on us and gives us a reason as to why this doesn't make sense. So you are suffering from the founder's fantasy, the tendency to focus on the outcome 1 million while ignoring the brutal math of the inputs. Let's stress test your plan. And it goes over everything with a reality check, structural risks, burn rate, all of this, and then a pivot plan like the other one did. But the whole purpose of this is that you're getting a better, harsher answer, and not something that kind of validates your opinion. This is actually going to be harsh and give you the brutal truth, which is what I think most of us would want when we're trying to get information from AI. We don't want it to be a brutal yes man. Brutal. It won't be a very much brutal yes man. An agreeable yes man. We want it to be a brutal advisor. That's what I meant to say. And honestly, with this type of prompt, it does become this brutal advisor, sometimes too much so. I've used it for other things, and sometimes it's so harsh, it actually makes me feel a little bit bad about my business ideas. So, for instance, going to the other chat, we see here, it tells us, no, this plan carries risk. Here's a breakdown of why this approach is currently misaligned with the reality, and it tells us what it is, reality check, build first approach fails, a smarter path, and it does it in a very soft manner without being harsh. Mind you, I am pretty impressed with Google Gemini to actually not be a super yes man out the gate. I noticed with ChatGPT and Grok, sometimes it is overly agreeable. This is probably one of the better ones. But utilizing this prompt will actually make it harsher on you, and maybe because this was too obvious of a business idea for it to not be a great idea, it was already going to tell us no. But regardless, you'll get a much harsher and more direct response by using the prompt. So for instance, it tells us here a smarter path, the side hustle validation, and it gives us an idea of validate the problem, not the product, zero cost. Before writing a single line of code, find a 10 to 20 customers, find a smoke test under 100, build an MVP with no code, and it tells us a whole thing we can do, which is not bad without the prompt. But let's take a look at the other one. This one is a lot harsher, as you can see, where it basically tells us our math doesn't make sense. It's criticizing the fact that that we even have the goal of 1 million out the gate, which is a little bit, presumptuous, I guess you could say. Tells us the structural risk, the capital burn, the market saturation for what we're doing, the no code fallacy. It goes over an entire burn rate calculator here of how we'd be basically burnt out and losing our money. Then the actual pivot, which is pretty similar to the other one, telling us how we can build and test. So it basically gives the same answers in a lot of ways, but with a lot harsher and better explanation as to why the strategy wouldn't work. And then this part is where it's very similar in the sense that it's giving us a a pivot plan of how we can actually implement this. And it tells us your immediate next steps. Freeze the spending. Do not touch the $10,000. It is your safety net, not your venture capital. And it goes on all of the other stuff that we should do. So once again, if you guys want to steal the prompt, you can get it from the description of the video or the pinned comment by simply pasting that into Google Gemini or any AI chat. You'll turn it into less of a yes man and a much better assistant for whatever you're trying to do, because it won't be as agreeable and it'll give you a lot more constructive criticism, albeit sometimes a little too harsh. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.